We're here with Alexander Olch. He's going to show us how to tie one of his bow ties. I do not know how to tie a bow tie, so I'm going to be paying attention, and I'm going to watch this video over and over again so that I can hopefully learn. But show us your best way to tie a bow tie.
So the simplest way to tie one of these things, it's basically just imagine shoelaces. Once around, which is just like how you start tying your shoe, and then you really just make a bow. So this is the first loop, and then this is the second loop, and the trick is really just to bring it through on the bottom.
So you had to wear one every day to school?
The dress code was a tie and jacket of some kind, so there was no real requirement as to what that was. So for the few of us who actually found that kind of fun, we would go to thrift stores and buy lots of ties, and by the time I graduated in the 12th grade, I probably had about 300 ties.
Because I was going to say, most people that have uniforms when they're younger, when they get older, they don't want to, they want to be a bit sloppier, but you still love them.
I do. I think it was really because it wasn't actually a uniform. I think if I was required to wear one tie and one jacket, I probably would have rebelled from it. But since the requirement was simply, it was a school in New York, so I think they were a little more lenient. It was just a tie and a jacket, so everybody tried to sort of bend it in whichever way they could. So some guys tried to disguise that they were wearing a tie and wear like big hoodies and things like that. I tried to rebel in the opposite direction, and I actually tried to outdress even the teachers. So I would sort of walk in like a three-piece suit, and it was, I found that sort of very funny as a way to sort of rebel. The materials we use, like linens and cottons, they kind of look wrinkly. They sort of, you know, they're not as rigid as what you might expect when you're wearing a tie, and that's deliberate. And the idea is that there's a way to be casual and still have a tie, and that's very appealing to people. We did sort of cotton seersuckers. We also did the sort of rough linen cotton sort of mesh. That's actually a print. So everything is done in different ways, like this and this are prints, wovens, all kinds of weird, really extravagant weavings. These are sort of halfway between a patchwork and a regular weaving, a sort of a rough finish. Everything is handmade in New York City. In fact, our labels don't even say handmade USA. It says handmade New York. So everything is actually made within the 5 boroughs with craftsmen who've been doing this for generations, and that's very much a point of pride with us. So everything that we do, every object is all handmade in New York City.
Okay, well, why don't you show us around your studio, because it's filled with like great old things. You have these great, like, lived-in furniture, these school desks.
The school desks are great. There used to be these flea market, the Chelsea flea markets. Mm-hmm. There was a great parking lot on 26th and 6th, mm-hmm. And they now built a giant building in its stead, which was unfortunate. And there were just great vendors there, and I think I got those for $20. This is a Marsh 5HT hand taping machine, which if you are making cardboard boxes, this is the real way to do it. And this is when we ship to our customers. Ties come in these boxes, which are letter pressed here in New York City. So this is these are quite very proud of these.
Here's some old telephones.
Yes, I'm not convinced that the newest voicemail telephone systems really are the look that. So I keep going out and getting weirder phones, but it turns out that, like, you know, you can't even put someone on hold with these things. So it's a little. We're confronting the technological. See, it even rings now.
Wow, what timing!
Yeah. So it's you know, but if you were to pick that up, we couldn't put someone on hold. So wow. It's, you know, it's unfortunate. But hopefully we're going to be able to find the right IT system for our studio soon.
Well, it's an awesome studio. Appreciate you showing us around. And I think that's it. This is Alexander Olch. Thanks very much.